Good morning. Come on in. Grab your coffee. Let's get this meeting started. Good morning to everyone. I hope you got your coffee ready. How are you guys doing? I hope your week has been going well. I very much hope your week has been going well. Without further ado, let's get this thing started. You already know what time it is. I explained it in the last episode. Cafe news. We got a lot to talk about in this meeting. You got a lot to talk about this meeting. All right. But without further ado, let's get this meeting started. Get comfortable. Get your coffee mugs ready. Let's get into it. Cafe news, baby. So we're gonna start out with a couple of clips as usual. This beautiful young lady right here. Let's see what she got to say.
Simple. Just follow these 3 steps, and I guarantee you he will be gone before you. You want to lose a good man fast? Simple. Just follow these 3 steps, and I guarantee you he will be gone before you even realize what happened. Step 1. Disrespect him. The fastest way to kill love is disrespect. Roll your eyes at him. Cut him off when he talks. Talk down to him in front of other people. Laugh at his ideas. Make him feel this small. A good man will not stay where he feels disrespected because respect is the foundation of how he gives and how he leads. The second he loses that, the relationship is done. Step 2, withhold your intimacy. Then make sex a bargaining chip. Weaponize intimacy. Punish him by shutting him out physically and emotionally. Make him feel like attraction is something he has to beg for. When a man feels unwanted by the woman he chose, it cuts him deeper than you think. So he will check out, and once he does, it is almost impossible to bring him back. And finally, step 3, be constantly negative. Finally, complain about everything. Focus on what he isn't instead of what he is. Criticize instead of appreciate. Nitpick the small things and ignore the effort he does put in. Nothing crushes a man faster than realizing no matter how hard he tries, he will never be enough in your eyes. So yeah, do these 3 things and you will lose a good man fast. Or you can flip it. Respect him, desire him, and appreciate him. That's how you keep a man who actually will show up for you. You want to lose a good
Actually, she's not lying. She's definitely not lying. But I like how she flipped it at the end. But a lot of women, they definitely do that. They definitely do that. I like how she flipped that. I like how she inputted that real quick, just slid that right on in. I thought she was one of those, just one of those. I don't. One of those that you all should look out for. That just be mindful when you out here dating, and you trying to, get in there and get in the game.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
EA Sports is in the game. When you trying to do that, be careful, be mindful of these type of women because they will do it. They will do that, and it would disrupt you. I promise you, it's crazy. All right, let's get into this next clip, baby.
I'm not pointing no fingers. I'm one of you. I'm one of these women out here who has had to be dominant so long that I have forgotten what it feels like to be soft. I'm one of these women who had to be the mother, the father, the provider, the everything by myself. Yeah, I fucked around and messed with the wrong man. I love the wrong person. We go through it and we end up in these situations. But a lot of us, we lose a lot of our femininity when we have to play these masculine roles all the time. And then we get these half-ass men in our life who want to come and act like they doing something, but we still carry more weight than they do in the relationship. If a man can't match at least what you doing, if you doing everything for yourself, then why the fuck you with him? Why is he your man? Why are you putting more problems on top of you than the shit you already carrying? Why are you allowing a monkey on your goddamn on back? You hear me? See, we pick up these monkeys, and these monkeys make these promises. But when it's time for these monkeys to...
Yo, I'm really mad that she's really harping on the monkey on your back and calling people monkeys. This is wild. This is wild. Yo, actually got me a little tickled. The fact that she because it's an old saying. You know, one monkey don't stop your show, the monkey on your back. You know, it's an old saying, and it's apparent that she's an old head. Monkey on your back, and then she continues and proceeds to refer to men as monkeys. This is wild. I mean, she's not generalizing, I don't think. Well, let's continue watching and see what's going on.
Be the man they say they gonna be. They don't even know what a man look like. They never had a daddy. They don't know what a real man look like. They ain't read no books on what it takes to be a black man, what black men went through, and how black men carry themselves. One thing I love is that my brother-in-law gave my son all the important books that young black men should read. And I'm gonna ask him for that list so I can share it to make sure that my young black men are reading these books so you could be a better man for self. Not for anybody, but for self. You hear me? But us women, we have a lot of masculine energy. And it's because a lot of these MFs out here are straight up itches with a B in front of it. You hear me? Stop loving itches with a B in front of it. If your man ain't a man and he show up as a man, baby, you won't wait for him to become no man. If through the door he ain't showing you he a man, then why you letting him, why you even messing with him? Stop taking these half-ass men. Stop taking these wannabe-ass men. Stop taking these, I think one day I may be a man, okay? Stop taking them. Stop laying down with them. Stop accepting them into your life. If a man can't be a man from the moment he meets you, he ain't worth you. Point blank, period. If you got something to say about it, put it in the comments. I ain't scared. Let's talk about it. Keep it kinky.
She ain't scared. She ain't scared. That's what she said. She ain't scared. She auntie ain't scared. That's what she said. She ain't scared. Go leave a comment. Y'all, I left the name up there for you. Go leave a comment. Go leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? The auntie says she ain't scared, but I'm like half and half with her. But I know she was mostly talking to the ladies, but you know, I'm kind of half and half with that. I'm not really, you know, she ain't lying. You know what I mean? But it's like one of those things where, well, she's really just not lying, period. I mean, but she ain't had to call everybody monkeys, though. You know what I mean? I guess she was referring to the specific type of men that are monkeys. I really don't like that. You know, especially when it pertains to black people. I don't like the term monkey. I'm pretty sure everybody that's watching know why, but, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, she kind of half and half with that. She half and half with that. She not really, you know, telling a lie, and she kind of putting her, you know, masculine woman type of feel to it, you know, and I think that was really the point. You know, a lot of you all do have a lot of masculine energy because you have to quote unquote do it by yourself, right? And this day and age, you know, let me let you know something. This is not the Jim Crow era. For crying out loud. This is not the Jim Crow welfare era. This is not none of those things. None of those things. We're not in a day and age where the man can't be in the house. You have to do it by yourself. Technically, it's your choice. It's your choice. If you mess with ain't shit dudes, you gonna get ain't shit results. And for my ladies out there, stop generalizing ain't shit dudes to regular dudes. They not the same. You pick bottom of the barrel where there's cream of the top over here. It's kind of your choice. Just saying. Just saying. You know, I'm throwing my hands up. Just saying. Just saying. Might help you. Next clip. Let's keep it moving, baby. Let's keep it moving.
Speak to the women who walk around with their chest puffed out, shouting how they don't need a man.
They ain't masculine, and that's why they don't have no good man. And because they think they want a masculine man, but what they really need is a feminine man, and they really need to get rid of all that ego and come back to earth and realize that, you know, show me one beautiful, striking person, and I'll show you another one who's sick and tired of them, as the saying goes. Come back to earth.
Yo, she honestly, she came in banging, yo. She came in banging. She was like, yo, they masculine. They masculine. Raw. You know what I'm saying? She kept it G. Hey, I'm glad that there's a lot of women out here coming out and actually speaking the real out here, man. Instead of this what was the sister code, sisterhood, whatever crap y'all got going on right now, you know, co-sign. I'm glad there's women out here, you know, checking that. I'm glad that's out here now. I'm glad that's out here. Let's let her continue cooking.
You know, some people just really be out here living in Delulu land. Like, you really aren't as dope as you think you are. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I really feel like the biggest lie that women tell themselves is that they have all of these options, but they don't. Social media is like really destroying women for real.
It's Giving podcast. I've never actually watched that. I don't know if it's good or not. Be honest with you, I never actually watched It's Giving podcast, but she was speaking facts though. You know what I mean, she was bringing in the heat. She came in banging. Yeah, she was like, yeah, these chicks is masculine. Yeah, let them know they masculine. They need some feminine men. You know what I mean? They don't need no real man. You know what I'm saying? They need to get that masculinity out their system. Yo, she was speaking facts. Man. I'm glad there's other women out here checking other women. You know what I mean? I'm glad to see it. You know, round of applause. You know, I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see it. Evolution is happening. I see the evolution happening. I'm happy to see it. Happy to see it. Happy to see it. She banging. It's Giving podcast. I don't know her name. You don't know my name. You know, I just instantly thought of a song right then and there. If you know what I'm talking about, you could play it in your head or, you know, whatever. Anywho's, I don't know her name. She's a good looking woman, but she came in banging. We need more of that. All right, party people, let's keep this thing moving. We gotta continue on with this meeting here, because we're having a meeting right now. We going through some icebreakers and what's not. But like I said, I'm happy to see it. It's vibey. It's cool. It's what's needed. You know, next clip, baby.
I don't need a man. I don't need a man to make me feel good. I don't need a man to take me out. I don't need a man to fulfill me. I don't need a man to make me happy. A man is not a necessity. It's an added value to my life. I learned that I am my true happiness. I learned that if you can't love me how I love myself, don't waste my time because I love myself. I don't need a man. I don't need a man to make me feel good. I don't need a man to take me out. I don't need a man to fulfill me. I don't need a man to make me happy. A man is not a necessity. It's an added value to my life. I learned that I am my true happiness. I learned that if you can't love me how I love myself, don't waste my time because I love myself. I don't.
She got some lips on her, boy. Good Lord have mercy. You know, hey, it's nothing wrong with it if it's natural, you know, but there's nothing wrong with it. Well, she got some lips on her. Hey, look, if you thinking what I'm thinking, get your head out the gutter. Zoom in a little bit. Wait a minute. If you thinking what I'm thinking, get your head out the gutter. We here to evaluate things. Come in a little closer. Get your head out the gutter, bro. Come on, man. Anywho's, yo, so that narrative right there from that clip, you know, I there's two different takes from that. From my point of view, personally, I agree with her to a certain extent. I agree with her to a certain extent, to where, you know, if you choose trash, you get trash. You know, happiness is a derivative of self-esteem. You know, if you can't make yourself happy, how can you bring any added value to a relationship? But then again, on the other end, when women say, I am my true happiness, I need to focus on me, it has a very negative connotation to it. They really take, you know what I noticed, especially here in America or the Western culture period, they'll take something really good and turn it bad, and take something really bad and turn it good. Because, you know, to a certain extent, as a human being, you do need to be a little selfish, and not in a negative sense, but and more in a positive light, to where, you know, you can't help nobody else unless you okay.
Message.
How can you, you know, express love to somebody if you don't love yourself? It's almost impossible. But when they say it, sometimes it be a little side eye. You know what I'm saying? Just a little side eye. I don't know. Is it just me? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Let's continue on. We got a couple more clips to go over, and then we're gonna head into this black coffee thing, baby. Let's get it.
A man and woman who builds in silence and who prays in private are the most dangerous.
I don't need a man.
Actually, I'm sorry. That was it. You know, I made a live mistake. Live and full fledged. Them lips though. All right. Back to business. I don't need a man. I don't need nobody else. You know, that narrative right there, and I think she's really coming from a negative standpoint to it. I just kind of reiterate on that last clip. And it's going to take me into black coffee, into the real business while we really here. But that narrative right there is, I don't need a man. It's a dumb narrative, man. It's really dumb. It's dumb. From both parties. Because I don't really believe on being on one side of the fence. Like, you know, it's on both parties. I don't need a man. I don't need a woman. But we men rarely say that. We actually like, no, I need my woman. Especially a man that been with his wife for a very long time, really love his wife. Oh my God, I need my lady. I want that's my wife right there. That's very common amongst us men, even to this day. Right? On the other end, that's not very common with a lot of these women. A lot of them are caught up on the feminist whatever narrative. Oh, I don't need a man. I can do bad all by myself. Yeah, I'm a boss, babe. I got money. He need to have some money. Oh, okay, good job. We the most educated in the whole country. That is so stupid. That's so stupid. I don't know. And all that stems to I don't need a man. That whole narrative is just really, it's retarded, man. I think it's so retarded. I really think it's so retarded. Like, how can you sit there and say that we need each other? We're human beings. very communal species. How do you sit there and say, I don't need something, another half of your species, your counterparts in your species, in your race? How can you really take that in and say that? It makes no sense. It takes two of y'all to create another you. So how you don't need your counterpart? Make that make sense. And actually, that brings me to this next segment here of Black Coffee. That's gonna bring me into Black Coffee, the godmother of all this. Y'all really think, and I'm talking to the manosphere as well too. Y'all think it all started with the feminist movement? All right, without further ado, let's get it, man. Black Coffee, baby. Being black in America has been one heck of a journey.
America has given the Negro people a bad check. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. The rock was landed on us.
All right, Black Coffee, the subject of the matter. Y'all saw the title. If you don't know who I'm talking about, within the title, she kept his name. Please, somebody in the comments, pause this right here and go in the comments and see if you can guess who I'm talking about. Real quick, she kept his name. The only person in Black history. She kept his name. Got famous off of her husband's name. I'll wait. Yo, rebuttal's a little too late. Okay. Shouts out to Kendrick Lamar, by the way. Anywho's, we are talking about Madam C.J. Walker, or born as Sarah Breedlove. Man, that lady right there is an interesting woman, and I wanted to cover her because a lot of talk out here in our community, in general, the dating world within this country, but within this country, our Black community, everybody have this talk that they think this whole modern woman narrative came from the feminist movement. It was intensified by the movement, but it didn't come from the movement. One of the beginnings of this happening was Sarah Breedlove. And we're going to go into her timeline. And then I'm going to give you my piece. Okay? So in 1867, Sarah Breedlove was born in Delta, Louisiana, orphaned at age 7 after a fever epidemic. So, of course, she lost a lot of her family. Her parents died from the fever epidemic. Her and her sister were orphaned. So, there you have it. She went through orphan for a little while. Then, eventually, at her later years, in her preteen years, she moved in with her sister. Later in her teenage years, she married Moses McWilliams at age 14. And the only reason she married that man is simply because she moved in with her sister. Her sister's husband was just rowdy and rambunctious, so he was abusive and all. I'm just putting my little comedic spiel on there. He was very abusive. So in order to get out the house, she found a man, married him, got out the house quick. So it was a quick marriage. After he died, during that marriage, she had her daughter, right? She had a daughter, Lalia. I can't pronounce her name. I'm so sorry. She had a daughter, Lalia. And then later on down the road, she married. She was widowed. Like I said, he died after a few years of her being married. Moses died. She was widowed with a 2-year-old daughter. Later in her life, she marries John Davis. Now, I want to stop here on John Davis. I'm gonna get deeper into it, but I want to stop here at John Davis. John Davis is going to be very interesting, and it's going to be a point that I'm going to make with John Davis. So with John Davis, she stayed with John Davis for over 9 years. I'm gonna let that sink into you. She stayed with him over 9 years. Pin that. Everybody that's watching, pin that right there. She stayed with him over 9 years. Here's the other part that you want to pin. He was super abusive. He was a drunk. He had no job. She took care of him. And she did that for 9 years. 9 years. Let that sink in. Have we seen this before? Do we see this in modern times? We sure do. We sure do. We see it a lot. We see it a whole lot. 9 years. Now, okay, she was a widow. We gonna go back a little bit. Moses died. I'm almost sure she would have stayed with Moses. I'm almost sure of it at this point. We're almost sure. We can't guarantee it because he died before we can even know if she was gonna stay with him or not. So she was widowed. I give her that. I would definitely give her that. Right? But with John Davis, she stayed with him for 9 years. 9 years. Jobless, broke, drunk, and abusive.
What?
9 years with a kid, with a baby girl. With a baby girl. I'm gonna move on, but I got. Let's sip some coffee. Let's sip some coffee on that one. 9 years. Really? That's crazy. All right, moving forward. We see it to this day. A lot of women, even successful women, done that. They have done that. Was they with Pookie and Ray Ray and mess around with them for years, and they get online talking about niggas ain't shit. You generalizing men to these Negroes. It's crazy. Now, mind you, this is the late 1800s. Mind you, our freedom have only been enforced for a little over 30 years. Just 30. Think about the millennials, the junior millennials that's alive and walking around on Earth today. Think about the junior millennials that's here today, right? 30 years. It's not a long time, right? That's not a long time. 30 years. And we have this type of carrying on happening. It's nothing new. Mind you, the feminist movement didn't start until the 1950s. Okay, this is the 1890s. Think about that. That's almost a half a century later. Keep that in mind. Moving forward. She divorced John Davis after 9 years of documented dysfunction. After 9 years, she finally divorced him. right? In 1904, Sarah meets Annie Turbo Malone. I never knew the lady's name. I knew she had a mentor. I never knew her name. And she stayed with her for a bit and learn the hair business for a while. So she worked for Annie for a while, and Annie mentored her, took her on her wing, let her stay there, helped her out. I got her out of that abusive situation. You know, I give a round of applause for the sisterhood for that. You know, we get a round of applause for that. That's good. That part of the sisterhood I appreciate. You know, because sometimes Negroes ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? But you picked them though. I mean, come on. But I still give y'all round of applause. I still give y'all's due. You know. But moving forward. So after Annie Turbo took her in and mentored her, she began to get into the hair business. She began to start manufacturing her own product. When I say manufacture, I don't mean like a manufacturing plant. I mean her creating her own product, her own hair care product. She began taking what Annie was doing and redesigning, being innovative. Now I will give her point, and everybody have gave her just due for many years for her being the first female millionaire. She's smart. She's smart, bro. She's very innovative, very creative. She's a survivalist. So I'll give her just due. I'm not here to bash Madam C.J. Walker. She left an amazing legacy. But let's continue moving forward. I just want to put that out there. So now here comes our third marriage. This is the part I want you guys to let everything sink in. And I think everybody knows this part by now. She marries Charles Joseph Walker, CJ. And that's 1906. Newspaper advertising salesman. Let me tell you about CJ. CJ was the top dog when it came to marketing and sales in that area. The top dog. The big man at the top. The man on top of the mountain. He was for that area, that city, that town. CJ Walker was that guy. And his stuff did get out to the public further out. He had a further outreach than just that town. But in that town, he was the big dog. Anybody outside that town see his name and the marketing, and they like, oh yeah, this is legit. When I get to that area, I'm about to go over there, you know what I mean? And see what's popping. You feel me? Right. So he was a whole girl at the top. Now, she uses CJ. There was no real documentation of her actually like wanting to create like an actual relationship with CJ. I don't think she did. She had her own hair care product. She was on a mission, and they met through her trying to get marketing for her hair care products. Because now she's trying to leave from under Annie, which is fine. You get a mentorship. You want to leave from under your mentor. You feel like you're ready. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. You know, but she created her own hair product and she wanted to market, and that's how they met. Because guess what? He's the big dog. The chief of Lagos, you know, of marketing. He was the big dog. So she met him through that, and she used that. He found her appealing. He liked who she was. And she used that. He then marries her. So guess what? She's getting free marketing. That's her husband. I'm gonna pause it right there, because you know where we get now. You know the end of the story. You know the end of the story. He takes that. I'm gonna pause it right here. So when it comes to a marriage, right? Like a legit marriage, not just some modern marriage, not just some business marriage. No, like a legit marriage, a legit conciliation of two families, right? Like legit, where two people are actually like making things work. So we're supporting each other, we helping each other out, whatever pursuit that we have. Together, we're in this together. If I have a pursuit on, okay, let's say what I'm doing right now. I have a pursuit on podcasting, right? I expect my mate to support me in that. If my mate also has a pursuit in fashion design or something, I have to support her on that. Right? And we build together. It's all about building and growing together. Kevin Samuels talk about that a lot. About building and growing with somebody. Not just utilizing them for your own means. You have power in community and family. That's where your power, the real power lies. Not some dysfunctional power. Like a Napoleon. Nothing against him. He was a great leader. Documented, quote unquote. But like a Napoleon. When you read that story, he did some underhanded shit. That's not how you get power. You get power through community and family. Moving forward. So you know the rest of the story pretty much. Where CJ, he rebranded Sarah as Madam CJ Walker. He did the photos. He did the marketer schematics. He did all those things. And blew it up. Now we're going further down to the line. In 1912, she divorces CJ. Kept his name. When she had other connections with the big manufacturers, there was a few other big manufacturers. I forget their names. Once I remember their names, I'm going to put it in the comments. I promise. I got you guys. But Henry Ford was one of the big manufacturers around that time. But he was in the business of cars. So, but he was a whole guy at the top at that time. He was a big dog. The other guy that she worked with was another big dog in the manufacturer game. After she got connected with him, she left CJ. That man was confused. He was confused and didn't know what was going on. And the reality is she just used him for that. For monetary gain. She only stayed with him for monetary gain. Time moving forward, the relationship between her and her daughter, she never really spent any time with her daughter. Case in point, y'all ever notice some of those rich kids, right? That and I'm getting to my time here. Yeah, some of those rich kids that have like dysfunctional relationships with their parents, and you're thinking, well, it's a 2-parent household, they shouldn't have these dysfunctional relationships with their parents. Well, a lot of there's a few of those, rich people that don't spend a lot of time with their kids because they're too focused on the business. They're too focused on being independent. They're too focused on I could do bad by myself, and that's what happened with her and Layla. I'm sorry if I'm butchering her name. Completely cut her lineage off. Because her daughter didn't continue to have kids. At least I don't think so. Not at the time. She didn't go forth and had kids. She had 3 failed marriages. She did exactly what her mom did, outside of the monetary gains. There was no bonding. There was no development. There was no teaching. She was just too focused on Madam C.J. Walker hair care products. Too focused on the sisterhood, because the legacy, she did leave a legacy and room for women to grow in the hair industry and have different, hair salons and, and sell hair care products and things in that nature. Right? She did build that legacy, Shouts out to her. We all know that legacy, but the truth of the matter here, she didn't have a good return on her investment. She didn't contribute to what was going on in that time frame. We were still dealing with the dysfunction and the racism inside this country as a community. We were still dealing with bigotry. We were still dealing with systematic racism, with redlining and things of that nature. People not getting hired with jobs. She amounted to nothing. She amounted to something. Not family. You have power in family and community. The only reason that she even had a legacy is because it was documented. But there's a saying, right? Kevin Samuels saying, buy a dog, die alone. And that's exactly what Madam C.J. Walker here. Here's my take on it. I just pretty much went through it. She made an investment into her career. She made an investment into her hair care product. She made an investment into a community, but she had poor return. Dysfunctional relationship with her daughters. 3 failed marriage. No building of a real community. She left a legacy of a business community. And you look at them now, I mean, moving forward to today, a lot of those women that's deep into their hair care business, they are single and alone. Not all of them have dysfunctional relationship with their kids, but that's the legacy that she left, and that's what's being promoted right now. The godmother of the boss babes. Yet she kept CJ's name. Left him high and dry. Fast forward, moving to now, you see the incentive, the divorce at a 72 percentile rate. Use a man for his money and leave him high and dry. How is that building community? How is that building true power? How is that building true wealth? Where is your real return on investment? Just money? You can't take money to the grave, my boy. You can't take money to the grave. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You just can't do it. And your kids might blow the money that you leave behind. So there's that. What return on investment are you getting? The I don't need a man narrative. Yet, she kept his name. Yet, a lot of other women that are rich off of men keep their name. So, here's the refill. In order for us to to come back to being progressive as a community, as a black community. I commend you. This is to my women. I commend you to work it out with the kid's father, because these kids, they need their fathers. I mean, we can't even have family functions anymore. That happened at Piedmont Park recently, amongst other things. You know, the terroristic activities going on in Atlanta and Houston, and you know, all these major cities, and these are kids without fathers. Work it out with your baby daddy, man. I'm not saying get back with them because they probably don't want you. I'm sorry. I'm just putting that fact out there. I don't mean to be mean, but work it out with them. Co-parent with them. Ladies, the other things is, you know, do actual pair bonding. And start getting with dudes that you fantasize about. Start getting with Pookie and Ray Ray, and they call other men, the rest of the men, dogs. Stop doing that. Do actual pair bond. Build family. Because it has been proven you can have your cake and eat it too. You just got to do it in a certain way. You know, it's not the best example, but this is the only example that's coming to my mind. Look at Candace, right? Candace Owens. Although we don't all agree with her talking points, look at Candace Owens. Have her cake and eat it too. She's a mother. She's a wife. She's a commentator. She got money. She got success. She's still a mother on a day-to-day basis. She's still a good wife to her husband. You can have your cake and eat it too. You just have to be feminine. You know what I mean? Not have these masculine characteristics. The last thing is stop the hate towards the men. You know, let me know what you guys think. All right. Right down here in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. What's your take on that? I want to hear your opinions. Please don't be disrespectful. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It's your boy True. I'm out.